Yo, what is up, guys? I hope you all had an amazing Christmas. Let me know in the comment section what you guys got. But yeah, anyway, today I'm going to be explaining how I got caught high on shrooms in school. So I remember waking up on this day just in the shittiest mood ever. Like, I did not want to go to school this day. And I slowly get out of bed and I take a shower and I start getting ready to go to school. And I get there and I'm getting out my folder for my English class and I put my backpack in my locker and I have to piss like super bad. But the first bell had just rung, so I had like 5 minutes to get to my class. And on the way to the bathroom, one of the staff members, like one of the hall monitors or whatever, stopped me and was like, "Hey, you, get back to class." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just using the bathroom." And she said, "Well, hurry up." And she just, I don't know, she just said it in a really pissy attitude, which I don't know why, but that pissed me off so bad. Plus, I did not want to be there to begin with, and I was already in a shitty mood. But anyway, I walk in the bathroom and I hear someone in one of the stalls, so I think someone's just taking a fucking dump in there. So I pee and I go to wash my hands, and the stall door opens, and it's my friend James, and he was like, "Oh, yo, what's up? I didn't know it was you that walked in." And I said, "Oh, what's up, man?" And we're talking for a second. Then he says, "Guess what I brought to school?" Shit sounded like he brought a fucking firework to school or some shit. But no, he pulls out this tiny bag out of his back pocket and he's like, "I bought shrooms before school. I was gonna eat some and trip out in class. You wanna do it with me?" And I forgot to mention, me and James had our first period together, and he asked if I've ever tried shrooms before. And I had a couple times, but they weren't good trips because I used to like microdose a lot. But James was gonna hook me up. So I eat half the bag and James eats most of the other half and actually gave me the rest. And I tell him thank you. And these take like around 30 minutes to an hour to fully kick in. So me and James go to our first period class and he sits more towards the front of the class and I'm way in the back. And probably 45 minutes later, my vision is like fluttering and I'm seeing things in this classroom that are moving that are definitely not supposed to be moving. And James like turns around and gives me a stare, basically saying, "Bro, we're so fucked up." And the teacher tells everyone to pull out our books. And we were going to read the last two chapters of this book or whatever. So I pull it out, and the teacher goes, "All right, everyone, open up to," and he says the page number. Yeah, I don't even remember what page he said to go to. So I asked this girl sitting next to me, "What page did he say?" And she goes, "Aren't you paying attention? He just said it." And she says whatever page we're on, and as I'm like flipping through the pages, the numbers are like warping and moving across the page. And at this point, the teacher is walking through everyone's desk, making sure they're reading. And he gets over to me and he sees I'm still flipping through the pages, and he tells me the page number again. And I just cannot find it for some reason because, like I said, the fucking numbers were just like moving around the page. And he sees my eyes and he goes, "Whoa, your pupils are super dilated and your eyes are like white as a ghost. Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm okay." And I tell him, "I think I might throw up." And he sends me down to the nurse and I'm walking down the hall and my school had these paintings and like awards up for the sports teams or whatever. And everything was just stretching and warping as I was walking down the hallway. And I get to the nurse's office and she's like, "Everything okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I just don't feel so good." And she gives me salty crackers and some warm water. And I'm sitting on the bed in there, and my principal walks in asking about a student that apparently ditched school or whatever. And as they're talking, I start trying to like move my leg because this bed was just really uncomfortable. And I forgot James had gave me the rest of the shrooms. And as I'm moving my leg, the bag just fell out of my pocket onto the floor. And my principal sees that happen and he goes, "Oh, what's that?" And he picks it up and is like inspecting the bag of mushrooms and goes, "Are these shrooms?" And I try to lie because I didn't think he knew what they were. So I go, "Yeah, they're mushrooms, but they aren't the kind you're thinking of." And he goes to try one. And I say, "They're mine though. Can I have them back?" And he tries them anyway. So in my head, I'm just thinking to myself, fuck, my principal just ate my shrooms. So I'm freaking out. And keep in mind, his voice is warping and shit, and he's moving around in places he shouldn't be moving around in. And he gives them back because he thinks they're just normal mushrooms, which surprises me because he's been a principal for a long time And, you'd think he'd caught someone with these before, but I guess not. And like 20 minutes later, the nurse tells me to go back to class. So I get my things, and at this point, second period had already started, and I'm sitting in class still tripping. And probably 30, 40 minutes later, the announcement speaker like comes on telling me to come to the main office. So I'm thinking it's definitely because my fucking principal just ate my magic mushrooms and he's feeling the effects of them and is tripping out in his office. So I go down there and I go to the principal's office and he goes, "Those weren't regular mushrooms, were they?" And I can't keep lying to him. I mean, he's feeling it already. So I just say, "Yeah, no, those were magic mushrooms." And he starts freaking out. He's like telling me he's going to suspend me for a month. And he calls my mom. And at this point, me and my mom and the principal are all sitting down together. And he explains what happened to my mom. And she also starts freaking the fuck out. She's like, "You drugged your fucking principal?" And I'm trying to explain, but they won't listen. And they both end up agreeing on a month suspension, and they're saying I should be grateful I'm not getting expelled right now. And obviously, I get sent home early, and I get home, and my mom takes away everything I love, including my Xbox, my phone, and my PC. So I basically had nothing other than an old phone that I haven't used in like fucking months. And I text James on Instagram, and I'm like, "Yo, I got caught." And he texts back almost immediately, which I thought was weird because he was supposed to still be in class, and he says he left the school because he got too anxious, which I guess is fair. And so we hang up, and I figure out I'm grounded for 3 fucking months, dude. I was so pissed. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for that story. Leave a like, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.